No, you know what? I'm going to tell you a story, and I've never told anybody. Well, I've never
Oh,
told you this.
I'm scared. Okay.
So this was when I broke your nose. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no, I was referring to all the gores I took, but yeah, the broken
Oh,
nose.
well, that was just business. But
That was just fun.
right, the okay. So do you remember Sandman wanted to jump on, my shoulders, and you're managing PJ, and then do like, but he wanted me to hold you or hold him, and then you're supposed to grab his leg, and and Sandman's, not as graceful as he may think sometimes. I love him to death, and I understand where he wanted to go with it, because he's like, do a Frankenstein, and I think
Right.
he used to do Frankensteiners, and they actually for being a guy his character and his height and weight, he do him really well. But anyways, we're in, and we never use crash pads except in New York. So you come up to grab his foot, and you're there, and he jumps up, but he doesn't jump up and land on my shoulders. He like jumps towards me, So right when he jumps towards me, I feel us going over, and I'm like, oh, I got to try to hold him so we don't fall, to the concrete, because it was concrete. It was that venue in Virginia, it was like the outdoor theater. We have one over here. It's called was DT, but it's by now. The amphitheaters, and half's outdoor, and it was a great crowd. And then when we came over, you thought it was Sandman's foot that hit you in the nose,
But it was
and
you.
it was mine. And I went with it. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Sandman's foot hit you in the nose. I'm like, because I felt so bad, and nothing was intentional.
Right.
You got color, I remember, and
I did.
so anyways, so I think you had black eyes the next day.
I did.
But I also, and Sandman thanked me because he was going head first down to the concrete, and I was able to reach back and grab right that the turnbuckle, So I stopped the momentum a little bit so we could over rotate. But yeah, that was the day I broke your nose, and I
You
didn't
know,
have the heart to tell you. And then the next day you came to me because you watched it on the ECW Hardcore Cam. You go, "Oh, it was your foot that hit me." So I'm like, "Oh, the jig is up," So
check
she
this out.
knows I
You're fine.
broke your nose, but yeah,
No,
it was
I
strictly
never.
an accident.
Oh, I know that, and I never I
Yeah,
never
you were
got
never mad
mad.
at me. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, no, I would never get mad at you, but I remember exactly what happened, and I remember there was
good.
a table set up in the ring, and you
Yeah,
guys were
yeah,
supposed to do the thing through the table, and I
yeah.
remember tugging on the leg,
Sandman's
but
foot. Yeah,
seeing you guys come to and I was like, "This isn't good,
yeah,
this isn't gonna end well,"
yeah.
and, like, I remember getting kicked because I was like, "I wonder if there was a steel tip in the boot."
No, no, yeah, no. It was just the side. It was just the momentum of my leg
Oh,
and foot coming over. Yeah, even though I
I
slowed him down. So, because if he would have, if I didn't, if I mean, by the grace of God, I was able to grab that, and that slowed the momentum down. Because if not, he would have came down on his head, and I would have landed right on top of
oh
him.
my god.
So
Well,
yeah,
I
yeah, that was
remember
good.
getting yeah, I got kicked. I hit my head on the side, and then Chilly Willy comes, and I'm supposed to, like, have a dance off,
Yes.
and I remember there was a I and then I'm supposed to cane him after we dance, and the blood was just squirting, and I remember I grabbed the cane, I said, "I ain't dancing," and I just started
Yeah, yeah,
and then Tommy ran out and grabbed me because I mean, I was just I remember they stuck
yeah,
the 2
yeah.
tampons were up my nose, and I was just sitting there in the back with these
Right,
tampons, and it
right.
broke the bridge. Yeah,
Yeah, and you go, oh yeah, Sandman's foot, and I went with it. I'm like, yeah, that damn
I
Sandman,
don't
you
care.
know.
That
And
was
then
called a
the
drunken
next,
piranha, but a drunken
yeah, yeah, yeah,
piranha,
he's supposed
yeah,
to do a cry,
yeah,
and
yeah.
supposed to. He's like, yeah, and I'm like, you know what, I might be able to do this, and if he would have jumped up and on top of my shoulders, kind of like Sabu and everybody, but he just like jumped at me, like,
Well,
so. But
yeah,
anyways, yeah.
I remember that like it was yesterday, and I